You remember the red dot. Here's the thing. In the early 1990s, one of the strangest status symbols in America arrives by mail first, then in airports. It sits on glossy, sharper image paper beside chrome gadgets with fresh ink smell and a tiny promise of the future. Act 1. Setup. Before Amazon, before unboxing videos, a catalog can still feel like contraband from a better life. Sharper Image starts in 1977, when Richard Thalheimer opens a store in San Francisco and later builds a direct mail empire around products you do not need but want badly.
By the early 1990s, the country is moving through a recession hangover and a white-collar tech shift. CNN glows in airport lounges, compact Macs sit on desks. Business travel expands. The catalog lands in suburban mailboxes and executive suites with black backgrounds, dramatic lighting.
And gadget names that sound vaguely classified. The object at the center is small enough to miss. A pen-shaped laser pointer. Cool metal barrel, button under the thumb, press it and a hard red dot appears on the wall. For a second it feels less like office equipment and more like borrowed military hardware. That feeling matters. Public speaking is still analog. Professors use overhead projectors. Sales teams flip acetates onto lit glass. If you want to direct a room's attention, you point with a wooden stick or your finger. The laser pointer solves a practical problem, then quietly solves a status problem too. Sharper Image understands this instantly. It does not sell the pointer as a toy. It sells authority, precision, a cleaner way to control the room from a distance. Hold on to that detail. The product arrives as a tool for boardrooms and lecture halls, wrapped in the language of competence. Act 2. Rise. The company has practiced turning odd objects into desire. Sharper Image already knows how to elevate the ordinary with copy, lighting, and price. A common umbrella becomes a weather instrument. A massager becomes a performance machine. The laser pointer enters that same theater of aspiration. The timing is perfect. Semiconductor costs are falling. Compact laser diodes become more feasible for consumer devices. Red helium neon lab equipment had existed for years, but now small handheld units finally look portable enough to carry in a shirt pocket. Technology shrinks. Mail order seduction does the rest. By the early 1990s, Sharper Image catalogs and stores help familiarize Americans with the device. The venues matter. Airport locations and upscale malls put the pointer in front of frequent flyers, managers, and people buying gifts for bosses. A demonstration takes seconds. Click, dot, immediate effect. Print helps spread the mystique. Sharper Image catalogs circulate in huge numbers through the decade, with circulation eventually reaching well over 100 million annually. The pages are dense with black space and gleaming objects. A laser pointer on that page does not read as office supply. It reads as entry into a smarter class of consumer. Then the joke starts. People buy one for presentations and discover other uses in minutes. They tease friends across the room. They point at televisions, dogs, and distant signs. The red dot becomes legible even before the product category becomes familiar. The peak lands in the mid-1990s. Sharper Image grows fast through its catalog, stores, and airport footprint. In fiscal 1994, the company reports record sales topping $300 million. That year, its blend of gadgets and premium pricing looks unbeatable. The catalog has become a cultural shorthand for expensive cleverness. Richard Thalheimer becomes part merchant, part ringmaster. Profiles describe his gift for spotting products that trigger a small gasp. He does not invent the laser pointer. He helps package it for mainstream American desire. That difference matters. The first encounter for many buyers is not a lab catalog. It is Sharper Image. By 1995 and 1996, the pointer is escaping its original costume. Office supply chains, trade show booths, science museums, and electronics retailers begin carrying versions of their own. Prices start inching down. The dot leaves the executive world and enters classrooms, living rooms, and novelty racks. Now watch the decade give itself away. A thing marketed as presentation equipment succeeds because it produces instant theater. You can command a screen from the back of the room. Yes, you can also make a red point appear on demand. with no visible wire, like a cheap magic trick. Act 3. Fall and twist. Here's the part the catalog never says out loud. Sharper Image is selling a feeling more than a function. The company's real specialty is not electronics. It is curating controlled amazement. The laser pointer works inside that formula because it is simple, dramatic, and legible in 1 second. That same simplicity weakens the moat. Once the novelty is obvious, competitors can clone the category. Office Depot, Staples, and countless electronics makers sell pointers without the theatrical catalog markup. The object turns ordinary faster than Sharper Image's branding model can defend it. Regulators also start paying closer attention to misuse and safety. Food and Drug Administration oversees laser products, and concerns grow through the 1990s and 2000s around stronger handheld lasers and eye exposure. The original red presentation pointer is mild compared with later devices, but the category's reputation shifts. Sharper Image keeps chasing the next gasp. Air purifiers, massage chairs, ionizing products, more house brand gadgetry. Then, the internet changes product discovery, and comparison shopping strips away some of the aura. A glossy catalog no longer has the room to hypnotize the way it once did. The company's most damaging blow comes from another star item, not the laser pointer. The Ionic Breeze air purifier becomes a blockbuster, then faces public criticism after Consumer Reports challenges its performance. Sharper Image sues. The fight drags on. Confidence erodes. The brand starts looking less clairvoyant, more brittle. In 2008, Sharper Image files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Stores close. The airport glow fades. What remains is a brand name, later licensed onto products sold through other channels. The old experience changes completely. The velvet dark catalog mood that once made a red dot feel elite is gone. Where does the artifact live now? In thrift bins, desk drawers, and online lots, where old pen-style pointers show up beside Palm Pilots and tangled VGA cables. The boxes often promise presentation control or professional use. The most honest part is the tiny warning label near the beam aperture. Collectors still hunt Sharper Image catalogs because they preserve a lost retail language. Heavy paper, staged shadows, product copy written with absolute confidence. Flip through one and you can track the decade's appetite for frictionless power. A laser pointer sits there, like a footnote that turns out to be central. You also find the afterlife in memory. People who first met the device through conference rooms remember the authority. People who met it at home remember the prank. Cat owners remember a different era entirely, when the red dot gets repurposed into pet entertainment and becomes almost too ordinary to notice. That is the twist I keep coming back to. America's first laser pointer moment is less about lasers than about distribution. A niche technology becomes legible when the right merchant stages it correctly. Sharper Image puts the object in a frame of trust, expense, and polished desire. Then the rest of the culture runs off with it. The catalog itself now feels like evidence from a narrow window, when mail-order graphics and airport storefronts could still teach people how to want. A company could decide which gadget looked like tomorrow. Sometimes tomorrow was profound, sometimes it was a red dot on drywall. Archivists note, Sharper Image catches a specific American appetite in the 1990s. We want technology that feels advanced without asking much from us. Press one button, get one clean effect, look competent, look early. The laser pointer survives because that bargain is still legible the instant the beam appears. The vault closes on glossy paper, chrome type, and that impossible little red point. Lock that memory in the vault, and I'll see you in the next case. What year did you first see this? Drop the year.